I want to tell you about a Tuesday afternoon in November 2019. I was sitting in a hospital corridor on the 4th floor of St. Augustine's Medical Center in upstate New York. I was not there for myself. I was there for my father, recovering from a minor procedure in a room 3 doors down. I had been there for 3 days. Corridor chairs, vending machine coffee, the specific suspended time of hospital waiting. On the 3rd afternoon, a nurse approached me. She said the woman in room 412 had asked to speak with me. I told her she must have the wrong person. The nurse said, "She described you exactly. The gray jacket, the book you've been reading. She says she's been watching you from her doorway for 2 days. She says she doesn't have much time, and she says she needs to tell someone who doesn't already know her story." I looked at the nurse for a moment. Then I stood up and walked to room 412. Her name was Evelyn Marsh. She was 71 years old. She was small in the bed, the way very ill people become small, as though the body is already beginning to let go of its edges. But her eyes were sharp, completely, uncomfortably sharp. She looked at me the way people look when they have been thinking about what they want to say for a very long time and are finally in the room where they can say it. She told me to sit down. I sat. She said, "I don't know you. That's exactly why I need you. Everyone who knows me already knows what they think of me. I need someone who will just listen. Can you do that?" I told her I could. She looked at me for a moment longer. Then she said, "I had a daughter. 32 years ago, I gave her away, and I have never told a single person that she existed." The corridor outside was very quiet. I did not say anything. She said, "Not my husband, not my other children, not my doctor, not my priest, no one. For 32 years, she has been the most present absence in my entire life, and I am going to die without her ever knowing that I thought about her every single day." Evelyn had been 19 years old when she became pregnant. Her boyfriend, a man she described as someone she had loved completely and misjudged entirely, had left when she told him. Her family, deeply religious, deeply private, had made the decision for her. The pregnancy would be handled quietly. The child would be placed. No one outside the family would know. Evelyn had held her daughter for 40 minutes. She told me this with the precision of someone who has counted every second of those 40 minutes for 32 years. She had dark hair, she said, and she made a sound, not a cry exactly, more like a question, like she was asking something she already knew the answer to. Evelyn's voice did not break when she said this. I think she had said it to herself so many times that the words had worn smooth. The way stones wear smooth in moving water. She had named her privately. Not on any document, not anywhere anyone could find. Just in her own mind. Rose. Because it was April, she said, and there were roses outside the window of the room where I let them take her. I asked Evelyn why she had never told anyone. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "At first, fear. My family had been so clear. This was over. This was handled. You do not speak of handled things. Then I married, had 2 more children, built a life that had no room in it for what I had done. And then, time. You know what time does, don't you? It doesn't heal. That's not what time does. Time makes silence heavier. Every year you don't say something. The weight of not saying it grows. By the time I understood that I needed to speak, I had been silent for so long that speaking felt like destroying everything I had built on top of that silence. So I kept building, until there was nothing left to build, until this room. She gestured, very slightly, at the four walls around her. I looked at this woman in this bed in this room, and understood something I am still trying to find words for. That the heaviest things we carry are not the things that happen to us. They are the things we never said about what happened to us. Evelyn asked me one thing: not to find Rose, not to deliver a message, not to do anything that required action. She asked me to witness. I need someone to know, she said, that she existed, that I did not forget her, that there was not a single day, not one, in 32 years, when I did not think about her. I need that to exist somewhere outside my own head before I go, even if it's just a stranger in a gray jacket in a hospital corridor, even if you forget me by next week. Right now, in this room, she exists to someone else. That's all I need. I told her I would not forget. She looked at me for a long time. Then she nodded. Once. The way people nod when they have finally put down something very heavy. I sat with Evelyn for another 40 minutes. She did not say much more. We sat mostly in silence, the particular silence of two people who have said what needed to be said and have nowhere else to be. My father was discharged the following morning. I went to say goodbye to Evelyn before we left. Her room was empty. The bed was made. The window was closed. A nurse told me she had passed in the early hours of that morning, quietly, in her sleep. I stood in the doorway of that empty room for a long time, thinking about 40 minutes. The 40 minutes Evelyn had held Rose. The 40 minutes I had sat with Evelyn. How much can pass between two people in 40 minutes? If both of them are willing to be completely present for every second of it. I have thought about Evelyn every day since. I have thought about Rose, who is 38 years old now, somewhere, who has no idea that a woman named Evelyn Marsh thought about her every single day of her entire life, who has no idea that on a November night in a hospital room in upstate New York, her existence was witnessed, held, by a stranger in a gray jacket who promised not to forget. I have kept that promise. I am keeping it now, because that is what Evelyn asked for. Not resolution, not reunion, not the clean ending that stories are supposed to have. Just someone to know, someone to carry it forward, even a little, even imperfectly, even in a story told to strangers on the internet, who will, I hope, carry some small part of it with them too. Rose, if you ever hear this, she thought about you. Every single day. She called you Rose, because it was April, and there were roses outside the window. If something in this stayed with you, leave it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you are carrying something you have never told anyone, you are in the right place. I'll see you in the next one.